Hello everybody and welcome back to another beer review. I don't know what number this is because I'm going to be uploading these probably in different orders in which I record them. Today we have another selection from Waldhaus. Now I've already done a review on the unfiltered Zwickel Keller beer style beer that they make. If you want to go and see that, click the link up in the this corner over here. Today we have the Waldhaus Jubiläums Dunkel, or the Dark Jubilee beer. So it's going to be a dark beer. I'm not sure that the camera's going to be able to pick this up at all, but you're not seeing through that puppy. It is another unfiltered beer, so when you pour it, you are going to want to stir it up just a little bit before you pour it. I'm not going to talk about the bottle history that much because, like I said, I already did a review on another Waldhaus beer. The only differences in the bottle from this one and the last one is that this has nice brown copper foil and color accents on the bottle. Otherwise, it looks exactly like the other one that I've already done. On the back it says since 2012 it's won 4 times the International Institute for Quality Selection's Monday selection with the Gold Quality Award. Wow. It is dark, unfiltered, with fine roasted malts, aromas, and notes. And of course it is brewed according to the German Reinheitsgebot purity laws of 1516, like every other German beer is. So that means it's only made with 4 ingredients, so there's not going to be any juicy or sweet or kind of weird flavors going on here. And it says that it's an unfiltered full beer with 5.6% alcohol. It is the Waldhaus Jubiläums Dunkel. Let's get this guy opened up. Let's start tasting, why don't we? So, I actually don't have a bottle opener handy, but luckily, I do have another bottle. This actually happens to be one of about 7 or 8 or 9 different beers that I have picked up in the last couple weeks. I've been doing some traveling around the world and picking up some beers for you guys. So stay tuned for that. There's some good stuff coming along in the next couple of episodes. All right, that one's on the bottom or on the floor. All right, let's get this guy poured up. Yeah, one bad thing about dark beers, you can't really tell if you got all the sediments out or not. We're just gonna hope that we did. And yeah, as you can see, this guy is pretty dark, but it's not like black. You know, there is still a little bit of color coming through. It's brown and it's a little bit red, but you can kind of see some particulates in there. But man, this thing is pretty dark. One thing that I must say, if you aren't a fan of dark beer, stop being racist, man. Dark beers have just as much right to be drank as paler beers. Just because they're dark doesn't mean that they're strong or that they taste really, really weird or anything like that. All that means is that the grains, usually barley, has been roasted a little bit longer, so you are going to get a little bit more coffee or chocolatey taste, but oftentimes they're also going to be a little bit more sweet. So I've actually never had this beer. I'm actually kind of interested in seeing how it tastes, so we're gonna sniff it, and you are kind of smelling some of those chocolatey or dark kind of aromas. But it also smells kind of sweet, so we're gonna let's just try and taste this here, baby. Okay, that's pretty bold. So I was kind of saying that maybe oftentimes you get some sweet flavors. This guy is pretty heavy in flavor. If you are kind of not the super bomb bold flavor kind of a beer drinker, this may not be the thing for you. It's not like a stout by any means, so you're not getting as many like creamy kind of stuff going on, but there's definitely some of those dark like roasted barley and chocolatey notes coming through. No, it's not a bad beer. And compared to a stout, it's definitely a lot lighter, I would say. You know, like when you drink like a Guinness or like one of those like really heavy, you know, Irish or English stouts, it almost tastes like you're drinking a milkshake. This isn't anywhere as thick as that. The head, as you can see, is also kind of died down here quite a bit just in like the last minute or so after pouring. It's not that bad of a beer though. Like the other Waldhaus, there's a lot of flavors going on. I maybe not recommend drinking, you know, a whole bunch of these to go binge drinking on something like this. Can't see this at any of your next college frat parties or anything going on. It's not that it's a hard beer to drink, but you gotta You gotta appreciate this kind of beer, you know? You gotta, like, sit by a campfire with your cigar and your hound at your feet and be like, ah, yes, darling. Dark beer. Yes. Please don't understand this the wrong way. You know, I'm not saying that this is any means a bad type of a beer, or that it doesn't taste good, or that you should not drink it if you don't like anything other than, you know, Bud Light or Pilsners or something like that. This is definitely still a lager type of a beer, so you're kind of going to get more of those grainy notes. At some point I'll go into like the difference between ales and lagers. Those are pretty much the two main families of beer. This is definitely a lager style beer, and just my kind of quick rundown of the differences. Lagers, you're going to get a lot more of those kind of bready, weedy, grainy type of flavors, whereas in an ales you're going to get more of the hops and more of these citrusy or soury kind of flavors coming through in the beer. In comparison to the other Waldhaus, the unfiltered beer that I tried, I think I like that one a little bit better, just because it isn't quite as heavy. Again, I don't have anything against dark beers, but I really do like unfiltered beers. I am a little bit biased in that sense, so this isn't a bad beer by any means. This is pretty delicious. Almost done here, and there's still a couple bubbles coming through. The head is definitely not as strong in this one as it was on the other Waldhaus. Doesn't mean anything. Doesn't mean if it's good or bad, really. But that's gonna about do it for the Waldhaus Jubiläums Dunkel. Hey, if you've ever had this beer, let me know and kind of tell me what you think about it. If you like other dark beers or want to maybe recommend something, put it down in the comments. Let's have a nice little beer discussion going on down there. And yeah, until next time, prost.